Welcome to a new deep dive. Today we're looking at a collection of notes, observations really, about Singapore.
A fascinating place.
Absolutely. So our mission, as always, is to pull out the most interesting bits from these sources, try and understand what makes this, well, island city-state so unique.
Okay, let's dive in. The sources right away, they paint this really vivid picture. A dazzling city-state, Southeast Asia.
Known for being incredibly clean, that futuristic skyline.
Exactly. And a striking level of multicultural harmony. It comes up early. And the food, of course.
Can't forget the food.
No. But what's really striking, I think, is how much is packed into such a small area. Just, over 700 square kilometers? A global hub in a tiny space.
That compactness, yeah, the source notes really emphasize that, almost with a bit of awe. And the history bit is quite something. Started as just a fishing village.
Right, a humble fishing village. The sources point to 1819, Sir Stamford Raffles, the British trading post. It's the modern kickoff point.
Then independence in 1965.
And what the notes really stress is that Singapore had basically zero natural resources. No oil, not much land, nothing like that. The sources argue its main asset was, its people.
And that's where the narrative in these notes gets really compelling, isn't it? This rapid rise, just decades into a top global economy.
Yeah, and the sources are clear. It wasn't just luck. They credit these very deliberate long-term government plans, investing massively in infrastructure, education.
Combined with just sheer hard work from the population. The notes really make a strong case for human capital being the absolute core engine there.
Absolutely. Which leads us nicely into the culture, the diversity.
Yeah.
The source uses the term melting pot.
You've got these distinct communities, Chinese, Malay, Indian, Eurasian, all living together.
But it's more than just coexisting, right? The sources seem to suggest it's actively celebrated, like woven into the city.
Yeah, through festivals, different kinds of architecture, and definitely the food.
The source gives this really concrete example that makes you think. How you can walk from a Buddhist temple to a Hindu temple, then a mosque, all really close together.
That speaks volumes, doesn't it? Suggests a kind of deliberate integration, mutual respect built into the very layout.
A powerful image from the notes. Okay, so for visitors, the sources list off the big attractions. You've got Marina Bay Sands, obviously.
Iconic. And gardens by the bay. Those super trees sound like something out of, I don't know, science fiction.
Totally. Then Sentosa Island for leisure, beaches.
Yeah.
The Singapore Zoo gets mentioned too, ranked among the world's best, according to the source.
And shopping from high-end Orchard Road to the more indie vibe of Haji Lane, street art, boutiques.
A real mix. But okay, the food scene. This is where the sources get really enthusiastic. A heaven for food lovers.
And not just fancy restaurants, Michelin stars in hawker stalls. That's amazing.
And the notes make a point of saying the street food isn't just tasty, it's super safe, regulated.
Good to know.
They list the classics. Hainey's chicken rice, tender chicken, fragrant rice, laksa, that spicy noodle soup, chili crab.
Oh yeah, the famous chili crab.
Satay, roti prata. The descriptions make it clear this is more than just fuel. It's a real cultural thing.
Seriously, the food notes alone are fascinating. Okay, then there are those slightly quirky facts the sources throw in. The chewing gum ban.
Always comes up, doesn't it? Often linked back to that cleanliness point the sources make early on.
Makes sense.
And, no surprise, Changi Airport. Consistently ranked the world's best. Reinforces that efficiency theme again.
But the fact that genuinely made me pause in these notes, nearly half the city is green space.
I know, 50%. It's called one of the greenest cities globally. You picture the skyline, but you don't necessarily picture that much green woven in.
It really challenges that concrete jungle idea, doesn't it?
Completely. And the sources suggest this greening wasn't an accident. It was a deliberate part of making it a high-quality place to live.
So wrapping this up, what do these sources tell us overall? Singapore, tiny place, but incredibly complex, dynamic.
A real blend, isn't it? Innovation, ambition, but also tradition and diversity.
Shows how they kind of flipped the script on having no resources, leveraging people and planning. A model in some ways.
Right, a model of that rapid focused development.
Exactly. The sources end by calling it welcoming, awe-inspiring, the Lion City. So the thought to leave you with, maybe, what would it actually feel like? To be there, experiencing that mix. The sources describe the efficiency, the diverse cultures, that surprising green space, maybe smelling the street food near those temples, all humming along together, something to ponder.